loans, Desert Financial Credit Union is located at 300 North Beeline Highway inside Walmart, and their number is 602-333-7000.
And thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Good morning, Rim Country. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful Wednesday morning out here in Payson or wherever you might be here, again, in Rim Country. Coming to you live on the radio and also on our KRIM Radio Facebook page. So if you want to watch this morning's Community Spotlight program, you can do that as well. Well, every Wednesday this time, I think it's the third Wednesday of the month, we have Banner Payson Medical Center in the studio. And this morning we have a couple gentlemen from the Respiratory Therapy Program and Imaging Departments, Tony Corrales and Greg Shroom in the studio. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, love the jacket too. Go Devils.
Go Devils.
Go Devils. There we go. So today, again, we're going to be talking about the Respiratory Therapy Program, Imaging Department, and again, just like to thank Banner Payson Medical Center for being in the community and their support of the community, not only as a medical facility, but everything they do for the community, for our schools. Just really appreciative of their presence and their commitment to our community. So we'll start with you, Tony.
Sure.
You said before the program, you're kind of over in these two departments, respiratory and imaging, are together or work together?
So I'm the ancillary services leader. So
Okay.
I'm the director over. I've got medical imaging, respiratory, cardiopulmonary is another word for it, because we do deal in respiratory, you deal with lung and heart.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have the cardiopulmonary rehab program and emotional wellness.
Oh, okay.
So that, and then we have the outpatient imaging clinic that's
Mhm.
just right across the street there from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the departments that I oversee. My
Mhm.
background, I am a respiratory therapist, and I've been a therapist for about 27 years.
Oh, wow.
28 years.
You've been doing it for just a
while.
few days.
Yeah.
Well, so where, if I can ask, where did you start and how did you arrive in Payson?
So I've been with Banner Health for 17 years. I hit my 17-year mark in April, actually this
Mhm.
month, about a week ago. And so I started out at a smaller hospital, somewhat similar to Banner Payson, up in Fallon, Nevada.
Wow.
We moved up there for about 13 years, originally born and raised here in Arizona,
Mhm.
come from the copper mining towns. But I got into leadership with Banner Health, actually, was my first position. We have a hospital in Fallon, Nevada,
Mhm.
which is about 60 miles east of Reno.
Okay.
And that's where I started my journey, my Banner journey, and I was the cardiopulmonary senior manager there,
Mhm.
oversaw respiratory and some of the other departments. Decided we were going to move back home to Arizona, and I transferred to Banner Baywood and Banner Heart Hospital.
Mhm.
I oversaw the respiratory department there, and then was there for a couple of years, and then got a call from Banner Ironwood, and they hired me to go out there, take a position out there, and I was the cardiopulmonary director so I was overseeing respiratory therapy and also the rehab department, PTOT and speech.
Mhm.
So I was there for about 6 years, and then I got the call encouraging me to apply at our newest facility that was opening. They wanted me to help them open the facility, and that was in Chandler, Banner Ocotillo.
Mm.
So at Banner Ocotillo, I had medical imaging, respiratory, I had the cardiac cath lab, and then therapies as well there, PTOT speech. So I was there for a couple of years and decided, my wife and I were just thinking, our last son just graduated from high school,
Uh-huh.
and we figured, we're gonna move from the city. And I've always liked this area. I've been coming up here since I was a kid, and so we ended up moving up here. There was an opportunity for me here at Banner Payson as the ancillary leader here, and so yeah, we made the move, and probably the best move we've ever made. This will be my forever job, and you know, we bought a house in Strawberry,
Oh, nice.
and so that's forever home.
And how long ago was that you moved up here?
I took this position in May of '23, and then we bought our house in September of '23.
Oh, wow, so
fairly
not that
recent,
long,
yeah.
yeah, pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Strawberry is real nice. I know
Yeah.
when we first moved up here from the valley, in '99, it was to Pine.
Mhm.
And our kids were still in elementary school, so the Pine
Yeah.
Strawberry School was perfect. Once they got into high school, then we made the move here to Payson because it's a short drive, but kind of
Yeah.
gets old doing it a few times a day. So, but it's, yeah, Pine and Strawberry are beautiful.
Yeah, this
up
is
there.
just a great community, and I can't say enough about just, you know, the people here and
Mhm.
the experience that we've had so far living here full time.
Mhm.
So,
Nice, nice. And how about you, Craig?
My background is I came from the Valley as well.
Mhm.
I got hired at Banner Ironwood when it opened back in 2010.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was just kind of the X-ray lead.
Mhm.
And I was like in the trenches with the guys and girls, and we did X-ray and we did CT, and that's kind of my background. And then in last year, Tony reached out and had an opportunity in Payson, and so we made the move about August, bought a house in Pine.
Okay.
So it's been great. We love it up here. We've also been camping up here for years, and we camp that control road all the time.
Yeah.
Now I live pretty much right next to it.
Yeah, it's funny. I know when we came up, and it was the same scenario where we would come up here camping, and in the summertime, oh my goodness, it seemed like every weekend or every other weekend we were up here just to get out of the heat, get out of the city, and be out in the woods. Then we moved up here, and we never went camping because we literally, it was like camping every day.
Yes.
Right.
You know, being in your house, especially up in Pine and Strawberry.
I have not camped since.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
How long, so you said 2010
Yes.
is when?
That's when I started with Banner Ironwood.
With Banner. Okay, and how does being up here at Banner Payson Medical Center compare to Banner Ironwood or in Ocotillo, the larger facilities, I'd imagine?
Banner Ironwood is probably a little bit bigger, but it's not a whole lot bigger,
Oh, okay.
honestly. It's growing.
Yes.
But I like the feel of the small town.
Mhm.
It's just personally, I like the smaller facilities.
Mhm.
I have picked up at Banner Baywood as an X-ray tech and stuff like that, but I still gravitate toward the smaller facilities.
Gotcha. And now you said you were born and raised here in Arizona in mining, like
Mining
Morenci or
So
up there?
I was in Winkleman, Hayden
Winkleman. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which is about 30 miles south of Globe.
Yeah, yeah, that's a incorporated little town here in Gila County,
Yeah.
the Winkleman, yeah, and Hayden. And how about you, Craig?
I'm originally from Illinois, Chicago area.
Oh, okay.
This is a second career for me. Back in 2006, I was a machinist because in Illinois in the Midwest, that's what you did. You were a machinist. So that's what I did. But we moved
Yeah.
out here. My wife, who was a nurse, said, you need to look into this. And she was right all along.
Yeah, I know we've had a few people on the program that work at Banner Payson Medical Center that have transitioned into the medical field from other professions. At some point in their life, they just felt like that's where they were led, or that's what they should be doing.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see that,
Yeah.
see that transition. And how about you, Tony? Was that you went in pretty young then, didn't you?
I was 10. No.
At first, I'm like, man, I believed you.
No, yeah, I did. It was one of those things where I was actually volunteering back. They were part of the Samaritan system, Desert Samaritan, back in the valley. And I decided to job shadow because I knew I wanted to be in the medical field. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I decided to job shadow some different areas, and the respiratory therapists are the ones that caught my eye. Just of what they did, they were all over. They were in the middle of the blood and guts, if you will. Working in the emergency room, working in the ICU, I even worked for a while, I was a flight therapist, worked on a helicopter and a fixed-wing airplane. So there was a lot of different areas that I could get into, so I chose that field. And it's been great, respiratory therapists, you can't say enough about them. And you had mentioned to me that you had an experience as well with respiratory therapy, taking care of.
Yes, yeah, here at Banner Payson Medical Center, I believe it was 2021, during the second phase of COVID, when and I forget now all the terminology, but the second variant, or, came out. And a lot of people, myself included, were getting pneumonia, and then along with COVID. And I was in the hospital here for a few days, and I just remember it was a horrible experience, but great treatment. And the care that was provided by the nurses, techs, doctors, it was great. And I just remember, the respiratory therapist and encouraging moving, getting up, walking around,
taking deep breaths.
Also and I still have it, the little like tube with the
incentive spirometer.
With a little gauge on the side, and you have to keep that little thing in that range and hold it for so long and get it up to a certain point.
And it's so important, that when patients are in there, because they're not moving around a lot. So, when you do your exercises that, like that, or get up and move around, there's less likely that you'll get a secondary infection like a worsened pneumonia, just from your lungs staying stagnant. But the good thing about, one thing that you had asked earlier about this hospital, what I really like about this hospital is it's kind of like a family, it's a community, and the culture is very well there, and that's from the top down, our CEO, our CNO, they've created a great culture, so everybody there really works closely together, and helps each other. It's more of a close-knit team that helps, and when you can do that and provide quality care, good outcomes come from that. So.
Was that part of the pitch to you, Craig, when when he said,
Yes,
hey.
but it's also true.
It is, because I've heard it from so many employees, at Banner Payson Medical Center, people that come on the program, talking with friends that I've known for years and years that worked maybe PRMC, Payson Regional Medical Center, before it became Banner, before Banner purchased it. And they talk about the culture, and like you said, that really starts with the CEO, Hoyt Scavelin, and all the way down. And also another area and group that echoes those comments, the volunteers. You have so many amazing volunteers.
Absolutely.
And they love volunteering. All the volunteers I talk to, they just love volunteering there, and they really feel, and they're made to feel like they're part of the team.
Absolutely.
And that's
because
very
they
important.
they're a big part of the team, and a lot of times, when you walk into the front doors, that's who's greeting you, the volunteers. So.
Have you seen that, or did you see that at other facilities, Craig, that you were at, the same level of volunteerism that we have here?
No, it's definitely much more presence here than I've seen.
And what impact does that have, on your department?
They're amazing. If we need just help in any way, they're always there.
Having those extra hands.
Yes, extra hands.
Extra hands.
Warm heart.
Well, and then that is felt by the patients.
Right.
Because there are just more people that are caring for them, that are showing them, that love and concern for their health, because it can be a scary time, you're nervous and anxiety is up. So if you have people that are kind of taking your mind off of why you're there, that can be very helpful. So again, we're talking with Tony Corrales, and Craig Shroom with the Respiratory Therapy Program and Imaging Department at Banner Payson Medical Center. want to just maybe talk about some of the other differences that you've seen or things that are unique. And I know it's hard because, you know, with the programs and the roles, they're pretty similar probably from hospital to hospital. But if there's anything else that, you know, to point out about Banner Payson Medical Center and the respiratory or other programs that
Sure.
are there that you're over.
You know, I'll speak to our medical imaging department. One thing that I've noticed here versus some of the other facilities, especially the bigger facilities, is in the medical imaging department, we have a multimodality techs. So we have techs that do different modalities, where in your bigger facilities, you might have just your x-ray, and then your CT techs, you know, and then your MRI techs, your nuclear medicine techs, ultrasound techs, where at Banner Payson, there are more people that are cross-trained and certified in some of the other areas. So, you know, that's one thing. You know, for instance, we have an ultrasound tech just today who's working. She came in to help out in x-ray because she's an x-ray tech as well. So,
Gotcha.
you know, we have that you know,
Cross-training.
cross-training, and that's makes for a better team. You know, they're willing to help out. So that's one thing that I've noticed that's a little bit different. And with respiratory therapy here, when you work in a small hospital in respiratory, you have to know how to have to know how to treat all ages, and work in all areas. Where, like I said, in some of the other facilities, you might have your therapists that work in the ER, primarily in the ER, or your therapists that are assigned to the ICU. The respiratory therapists here have to go in each day, not knowing what you know, they have to take care of the whole hospital.
Could be pediatric, senior, I mean,
Neonate,
the
it could
entire
be any-
range.
yeah.
Wow. And are most of the patients that you're dealing with, are they mainly like more senior up here?
The majority of our patients are, we do have a large pediatric population.
Okay, yeah.
Being the only facility, you know, in the area, you know, we get everything, but, yeah, the majority of our patients are seniors. Yeah.
And how, yeah, like you said, in the larger facilities, you'd have, I guess, more specialists, or, you
Right.
know, you'd have a specialty
Yeah.
where people that focus on, you know, pediatric or senior or so on. So how does that, like, is there certain training, or how are you prepared for that? Or is
Yeah.
it kind of you learn as you go a little bit?
So you do, it is training. You know, we like when, for instance, and I can speak to, you know, what my approach was. You know, when I worked in the bigger facilities, I wanted to work in all of the areas just to get cross-trained, so that, you know, it was a different thing every day. You know? I might have been in ICU one day and the ER the next day. So we tend to look for therapists who have that, you know, cross-training in some of the other areas. Sometimes, you know, we're not opposed to new grads, and we train them. It's a little longer training, of course.
Yeah.
And becoming comfortable with everything.
Do you notice with the new grads or those just coming into the field, are there more, what would you say, are there more that want to stay maybe in the metropolitan areas, or are there some that, and a decent amount, that want to come to the rural areas as well for maybe that reason, just to get a broader experience, or what do you see?
Yeah, what we see is typically when you come out of school, you're hungry for
Action, you want to
knowledge,
see a lot of,
action. Yeah, you want to know, you want to try to learn. And so some of the bigger facilities, of course, you know, they tend to say, you know, hey, you know, you're going to be in a neuro ICU versus a cardiac ICU, so you get that broad spectrum. So you're seeing more go into those bigger facilities. You know, I have one of my best friends growing up. His son just graduated from respiratory therapy, and his niche was pediatrics, so he went to work for Phoenix Children's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And he found that's his love. And so, you know, sometimes when you first graduate from school, that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for, like you said, that action. And then you settle into what
Yeah.
what you're
Kind of find your niche.
find your niche.
or-
Yeah. So.
And how would you say the patient load, Craig, compares here to like in the valley or where you've been before?
This is a busy little place.
Yeah.
Only, like you speak for MRI, only one magnet in town, but our staff get it done day in and day out. But outpatients, lots of outpatients.
And I think you had mentioned this, Tony, probably because if it's the only game in town or the only place you can go, then everyone has to, it comes through your doors.
Right.
And that makes a big difference rather than being in the valley where they can go to different places. I'm sure there are a lot of imaging centers that are down in the valley as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha, where we really don't have that up here. Huh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I always, it's fun to, when, we interview or talk to different people at Payson Medical Center, just kind of what brought them here, why, what it is about the small town and being in a smaller hospital versus, in the valley or somewhere else. But I think, or it is a case where almost everyone, talks about the community, they enjoy the sense of community and family at the hospital. And has it been, and I know you haven't been here real long, but do you see or have you seen some of your patients like at the store, like at Walmart or different places where they recognize you and say, hey, thanks for that, or hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Is that something that you used to, Tony, or that you got before, like at the other places you were at?
No, I think this is so. You definitely see some of the people that you've taken care of here in the hospital, out in the community. So, but it's nice when they can see you and like you said, smile and and it kind of gives you that sense of accomplishment and you gave them a good experience.
Yeah, so. And you said that's first for you as well, Craig?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, how do you like that so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's so far it's good until it isn't good. No, I think and talking to people again that have been here longer and at the hospital, they've said it is a really good feeling. It makes you feel appreciated and. You're part of the community. There's faces that you see instead of just the faces and people coming in, your patients, and then you never see them again.
Right.
So, and what, I guess other ways, being in the community, what do you enjoy doing, or have you kind of, found clubs, different organizations, sports, recreation? What do you enjoy doing up here in the community, Tony?
I love hiking
Okay.
and paddle boarding. That's just I haven't got into mountain biking up here quite yet, but I found some friends that do that. Live there, so I'm probably going to be venturing off into that. But I love the outdoors. I do hunt. On like Craig said, I've been coming up here and camping for years now. And typically we're around in the Happy Jack area, so I know that area real well, and Mormon Lake and the forest. So.
And being up there in Strawberry, it's nice. You can just shoot up 87, get right up on the rim, and that's nice. And also the hiking. We just had, in fact, not yesterday, the day before, on Monday, members from the Pine Strawberry Fuel Reduction. And the Pine Trail Run is happening May 4th. And that group, or May 4th,
Yes, I'm registered to run that.
You are registered? Oh, all right.
Yes, I ran it last year as well.
Okay, which race, because there's
The shorter one, I think this is the 6
5K?
Yeah,
a 5K, a 3, or a 10 mile?
The 10 mile.
The 10 mile, so that's the medium, I think a 5K, a 10 mile, and then a 50K.
50, yeah.
That's intense.
I know. Scott Keel, who is the organizer of that event, he's in here. He's an avid runner, and he runs crazy distances like that. And I'm like, 50K? Are you serious? No, 5K sounds good for me. Not running though, but just hiking along. I also saw Tony look over you when you mentioned mountain biking. So do you mountain bike?
No, I'm more of a hiker,
Oh, okay.
and then I do some trail running stuff, stuff like that. I used to do a lot of road running in the valley,
Oh, okay.
so more of an outdoors kind of a hiker.
Mm-hmm. Now up here, yeah, not as many roads to run on, or that
Yes,
you
it's a
want to run on.
different, yeah, it's a different style,
Mm-hmm.
but I've enjoyed the trail run
Mm-hmm.
portion.
And they were talking about connecting, how they're going to be connecting some of the trails to where they'll form a loop all around Pine,
Yes.
which is pretty cool.
Mhm.
And again, yeah, the Pine Trailhead up there is just great.
Yeah.
And up in Strawberry, that one trail that
Mhm.
goes and you look
Mhm.
down into Pine, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to share? We're pretty much at the end of the program here, but yeah, about again the respiratory and imaging program here at Banner Payson Medical Center. But yeah, anything else to share or add or talk about?
No, I thank you for,
Thank
you
you.
know, for this
Oh.
time, giving us time to explain
Oh yeah, you're so
for the
welcome.
community.
Yeah, and just want to again thank and you know comment on quality of service, you know,
Yeah.
at Banner Payson Medical Center. The other thing too that really appreciate is Hoyt, and I was in there recently for a procedure and I saw everywhere these stickers or hanging on the wall or on the table saying, hey, if you have a problem or
Yeah.
if something, you know, that goes wrong, here's the CEO's number.
Yeah,
Here you go.
Text the CEO.
Text the, you know, the CEO, let them know.
Mhm.
And that just, goodness, you
Mhm.
don't see that everywhere.
Yeah, right.
So hopefully there isn't ever an issue, there isn't
Yeah.
a problem, but, you know, things happen.
They do, and that's, you know, that's one thing that Hoyt, you know, he invites that, you know,
Mhm.
like if there's anything that we can do, any opportunities, how can we get better?
Mhm.
And that's what we will put into place, and, you know, some actions behind anything that we,
Mhm.
any opportunities that we come across or that we hear back from.
Mhm. Yeah, there's always opportunities to improve.
Absolutely.
Always, so
So,
it's good. Well, thank you, Tony. Again, thank you, Craig.
You're
yeah,
welcome.
Great talking with you guys, and thank you for all you do for the community here, serving the community. We appreciate you guys.
thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching and listening this morning. Time to get back to the music here on KRIM with some Marvin Gaye, The Clash, Warren Zevon, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
KRIM weather forecast for Payson and surrounding areas.
All right, guys, see you later.